Hey guys, it's Mrs. B. I'm here on a very, very rainy day at my house in my dining room. And when it's raining outside and my kids and I can't go out and play, my favorite thing to do is take out a bunch of art supplies and do some art projects. And today in preschool art, we're going to learn a little more about the shapes that we've been practicing. So I'm going to show you several ways that you can practice making your shapes at home. You can try them all if you would like to. You can pick your favorite ones to try and do that. It's completely up to you. If you come up with other ways to practice your shapes, you can also have your grown-up snap a picture of that and email it to me because I would love to see your creative ideas. So the first thing you'll need is a paper with the shapes on it. So have a grown-up help you draw a triangle, an oval, a square, a circle, and a rectangle. One thing you can do to practice your shapes is if you have your grown-up draw them with a marker. I used my Silly Sense. I think those are lots of fun. You can take a paintbrush with just some water on it, dip it in the water, and find the hidden paint in your marker. Did you know that markers have hidden paint in them? You can take that paintbrush and trace it around the whole shape with water. And as you're painting, it will pull the marker color out and turn it to watercolor paint. So you're going to paint all around your shape, right on the line, right on the marker with water. So we'll let that dry for a few minutes so you can see what it looks like when it's dry. While it's drying, another project you can try to practice your shapes is tracing shapes in salt or sand with your finger. So I'm going to move my paper over, and I have a little dish. And I put salt in the bottom of it. This is something we do at Goodwin School, and I use colored sand for it when I'm at school because you can see it more easily. Or if you have a dark colored casserole dish, my casserole dish is black on the outside, white on the inside. If it were black inside, this would be much better because I would be able to see better. You take your finger and you trace your shape with one finger in the salt, and then you have a grown-up shake it to clear it. I'm going to make a B for Mrs. B in this one. In this one, I'm going to make a face with a circle, dot, dot, smile. I'm going to try my triangle. Straight, straight, straight. How many sides does that triangle have? Let's see. 1, 2, 3 sides. Let's try the square. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I'm counting my sides on my shapes, I like to make a little mark on each side so I know I've already counted it. See on this rectangle what I do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I want to count my sides, I go 1, 2, 3, 4. Another thing you can do to practice shapes is take a paper with your shapes on it and use some Play-Doh. It's very hard to do Play-Doh with one hand. Josh, could you get this Play-Doh out for me? This is my son, Josh. And Josh, can you make me a really long Play-Doh snake? He's using the flat part of his hands to roll that Play-Doh out. Is it hard to do? Yeah, it is. It's been sitting a little while.
It's colder.
Everything's a little chilly today. So he's making a nice Play-Doh snake with
Long
the
enough?
flat part of his hands. Can you roll the middle and make it a little bit skinnier in the middle? Wow, that's a good Play-Doh snake. Perfect. All done? Thanks. I'm going to take part of this Play-Doh snake and I'm going to make it even skinnier. I'm using the flat part of my hand and I'm rolling it out. And once it's really long and skinny, you can take your Play-Doh snake and you can use it to trace the shapes on your paper. Oh, look, it doesn't quite make it. I gotta make it a little longer. I'm gonna keep rolling it. All right, let's see if this time it'll go all the way around. Oh, look at that. There we go. That's another really fun way to practice your shapes and the first letter of your name. The last way I have is to go back to this page. Ooh, look at the colors are starting to bleed where I painted it. That's pretty cool. And you take some paint and your paintbrush, and I'm using watercolor. So just like at school, we have to swirl, swirl to wake up our paint. And I'm gonna see if I can paint inside my shape without going out of it. See if I can control my paint to stay inside a square shape. Oh, Josh is rolling out more coils over there. So I'm gonna try to paint inside my shape. Let's see if I can do the whole shape. Water, paint, paper. So those are the ways Mrs. B likes to practice shapes at home. I like to use Play-Doh to practice my shapes with a long coil. I like to use water to trace around the shape, paint inside it, and I like to use a salt tray to practice my shapes also. That's what I have for you for art this week. Josh, can you say have a good weekend?
Have a good weekend.
I hope you guys have a great long weekend with your family. I hope this weather changes and it stops raining. And I hope to see you next week on Google Classroom for another fun preschool art lesson. Bye for now.